Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the pages of thriller and fantasy reads. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are discussing the second book in the Crimson Moth duology. But first, a quick heads up, if you crave the full visual experience and want to ditch the ads, head on over to Patreon. You'll unlock ad-free video episodes, exclusive after shows, and tons of other content. If you prefer audio only, Spreaker listeners, your in luck after shows and exclusives are now available there. And new to the lineup is Spotify, so you can also get our premium content there in video and audio. Want even more bookish banter? You need to come on over to our community on the Book Clubs app. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. That helps other people find us, and we really appreciate it. And speaking of community, I'm thrilled to welcome back my fantasy series bestie and co-host Casey from Heartful of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here.
I know. This should be a fun convo, I think.
So, I think it's going to be good.
Okay, we're about to find out, and y'all about to find out too. Okay, so you can find links for both of us in the show notes, including the podcast. So click around, do all the things. We appreciate you for doing that. Before we begin, I want to remind you that we discuss full spoilers here on Book Chats, so spoiler alert, you've been warned. Today we are discussing Rebel Witch, written by Kristen Ciccarelli. The audiobook is narrated by Grace Gray. Published February 18th, 2025 by Wednesday Books and Listening Library. The ebook is 464 pages and the unabridged audio is 13 hours and 43 minutes. Casey, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Rune Winters is on the run. Ever since the boy she loved, Gideon Sharp, revealed who she was and delivered her into enemy hands, everyone wants her dead. If Rune hopes to survive, she must ally herself with the cruel and dangerous Cressida Roseblood, who's planning on taking the Republic and reinstating a reign of witches, something Cressida needs Rune to accomplish. Apparently, it wasn't enough for Rune to deceive Gideon. Now she's betrayed him by joining forces with the witch who made his life a living hell. Gideon won't allow the Republic to fall to the witches and be plunged back into the nightmares of the past. In order to protect this new world he fought for, every last witch must die, especially Rune Winters. When Rune makes Gideon an offer he can't refuse, the two must pair up to accomplish dangerous goals. The more they're forced into each other's company, the more Gideon realizes the feelings he had for Rune aren't as dead and buried as he thought. Now he's faced with a terrible choice. Sacrifice the girl he loves to stop a monster taking power, or let Rune live and watch the world he fought so hard for burn.
Okay.
Dun dun.
As we do, first up, high level, what did you think about the book?
So, I mentioned this last time.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the best actual enemies to lovers that I've read in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And while I have other things to complain about, high level, I'm so fucking happy that they were actually enemies and kept trying to kill each other and deceive each other. And like that, I love that. It's so rare in today's age, even though everything is enemies to lovers. Like, it's so rare that we actually have enemies who are like pressing guns and knives to each other and like actively trying to kill each other. But we had that here, and that made me so happy.
You know what? I just thought something really inappropriate. Again, I'd be thinking about all kind of stuff, but I'm like, that could have been a really fun scene. Like, they trying to kill each other and do each other at the same time, because that's how they be trying to do in the other books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they absolutely could have and should have done that at some point. But like, this was a very, very mild sexual book.
Yeah, it was very mild.
But like, yes, anybody who wants to write real enemies to lovers, do that.
Yeah, I would agree. I do think it was done well, and I'm glad that it was, I guess, the change or the transformation was well timed. I think it didn't take the whole book. Which was also nice. Yeah, just like all of a sudden it just clicked, and he was like, "Oh, I guess I don't hate her. I'll have to save her." Okay. But I think I enjoyed this one a little bit better than the first book.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely easy for me. It wasn't slow. I got through it pretty quickly, and the pages kept turning. The
That's
audiobook
great.
kept going, and I was never bored.
That's
And
fantastic.
yeah, so
That's
I
high
enjoyed.
praise coming from you.
Yeah, it is. So I enjoyed it a lot more than the first installment, which is great because usually people can't, seal the deal.
Mhm.
But if I had to critique one thing, it's going to be my ultimate biggest gripe that I always have. And it's fucking children and marriage.
Yeah.
So just to kind of skip it, and I knew when Rune had the vision, I said, "Oh fuck." She had
Thank
a
goodness we didn't actually get that in the epilogue, like,
Yes. It didn't go that
it
far
didn't
forward.
go that far. Yeah, I know if it
Yeah,
had, I would have started ranting about that immediately,
right.
but, like,
But
yeah.
I don't know, it's there, and for people who love that kind of ending, it's given to you, and you can daydream about it if you want because you know it's gonna happen for
Mhm,
them eventually.
mhm.
But I'm like, "Oh god, not 3 kids."
Not the 3 kids.
And then it came up again. I guess, she had to, complete the circle with that when Rune's, like, on the train and looking at her face, and she's like, "I don't know who looks like me?" And she's like, "Oh, I've seen those eyes before. I've seen." I'm like, "Girl,
Good
it's
good
your children."
God.
Then she gets off and save her man because, she's trying to figure out who she is. I'm like, "Get out of here." Okay, girl.
Yeah, I could have done without that. I
Yeah.
could have it could have been anybody but those kids in
Right.
that moment. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So that was, I think, my biggest fine, I
Mhm,
tolerate it, but, I don't love it. But, I get a lot of people enjoy that, so the author tries to service, those readers. And,
yeah,
it worked, it didn't not fit, but, it could have not been there. I would have been just fine. So,
absolutely. And
yeah,
I mean, it could have been cut and would have changed nothing in the plot line. Like, as
exactly.
soon as she started when she had that vision, I was like, "Oh, is this going to become something? Like, is she now gonna start having visions? This is gonna be part of the plot line?" But no, it was
Mm-mm.
literally just for the kids.
Yeah, which is weird. That could have been so cool if
Why?
she could see more
Yeah,
than
like, if
that.
all of a sudden she started seeing into the
Yeah.
future and the past and seeing all of these different things, that would have been such a really cool addition to the plot, and it was just for the kids.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been
It could have
used
been
differently.
so much better,
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree with that gripe. That was
Yeah.
why?
So I do have, since I'm on the gripe train, I do
Mhm,
have one more. And I guess I love when people can surprise me. It's very hard to surprise me anymore. I
same.
read, because we both read a lot of this genre
Yeah,
and a lot of these type of things. So
yeah,
the plots are pretty similar,
yeah.
it goes the same way. So I was kind of disappointed. I knew really early on that Rune was the sister.
Well, I knew instantly.
Yeah. I'm like, this is
Instantly.
obviously before the author told us. I'm like, duh.
It was
Yeah.
so painfully obvious. So, even in book 1, Rune was like, "My parents just died in an accident, and I'm not even related to my grandmother, so I don't know if I have magic." And then, of course, she starts getting magic and all of this, that, and the other, and she's like, "But I don't know. Who am I?" And then they're like, "Oh, there's a missing sister." And I was like, "Oh, fuck me.
Duh.
Fuck me." Like, this is the most obvious.
So obvious. Like,
Obvious, yes.
no one
Like,
even has to use their energy to even think.
no.
It's just duh.
It's the biggest duh.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest disappointment with this book. I don't know if it's just me or if this author is still really new, but everything was so obvious.
Hmm.
From her Rune being the sister to what's her name? The plot twist at the end where she was
Seraphina.
Seraphina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Okay.
wisdom.
So even at the end of the last book, again, they're like, Seraphina looks like she's 20, so she's basically Rune's age. But she was best friends with her grandmother for years before Rune was ever born. So I was like, okay, is she some type of immortal something? Like,
Yeah.
why does she look 20?
Right.
And then this whole time, they're like, oh, maybe there's an immortal around us. I'm like, the 20-year-old who's supposed to be 50 or
Yeah.
70 or however fucking old.
And then, okay, so and that's another thing that I kind of hate. So we knew, like you said, we
Mhm.
could tell that something was up with her,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But then to be powerful, ancient, goddess, like all these things.
Mhm.
And if you're supposed to be a guide or protector for Rune, you kind of failed. Because there's a
Completely
lot of
failed.
shit she didn't know. Like when she learns the history, she's like, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Shit, why aren't you telling her the history? And then
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh, I've been waiting for this forever. Bitch, you could have did something. Like you're so powerful, you just literally had to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. And
No,
even then, I need to go back and open up the first book, but I'm like 90% sure it was Seraphina she was looking for
it
in
was.
chapter 1 of book 1. Yeah.
It
And that
was.
was like 2 or 3 years after her grand had been murdered.
Hmm.
So what was she doing for those 3 years? Why was she
Right?
not helping Rune?
Right. And then how
That's
in the hell, what would have happened if they had actually got up there? They were interrupted
Mhm.
before Rune could kill her in book 1.
Yeah.
But what would have happened? You just gonna sit there and let her do it? Like, I don't understand.
It was
It was flat.
it was
Real-
so flat.
It
Yeah.
did not deliver what the
Like
author wanted
that
it to.
no. No.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
so close. But
I'm
like
like, whoop-de-doo. Surprise,
yeah.
surprise.
Not a surprise. Like I can see this from a mile away.
Hmm.
You're not hiding it as well as you should be. You're not giving us more to the plot. There's so much lacking there. I don't know what else is like it like you said, it was good enough to keep me engaged and reading, but
Hmm.
at the same time I'm just like there's so much more that could have been done. There's so much
Yeah.
else that could
I
have
mean,
been done.
if you're gonna plop a obvious plot twist in front
Mhm.
of us, make her more useful. I
Yes.
feel like she could have been a lot more helpful to Rune,
Yes.
and maybe she could have been operating out of a different space,
Mhm.
instead of being so young about everything still.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
she could have done everything differently and it would have been still would have been a better plot twist.
Yeah. So that was both of her plot twists fell flat.
Yeah, that was
That's unfortunate, but she tried, but it did not really pan out. Also, I think that again, I have the same gripe as I had in the first book. I wanted more of Rune acting like the Crimson
mhm,
Moth. I wanted
same.
more of her being kick ass and all this other stuff, and it wasn't enough.
In this one, she just struggled with her identity more than
Hmm.
actually kicking ass anywhere.
Hmm. The whole time she's struggling with her identity and she's struggling with being in love with Gideon.
Mhm,
Like that's so there in the front of every scene. Every
mhm.
scene they're in together. Why did they have to fall for him? Why? I would have rather he asked me to marry him. I'm like, girl, okay, okay. But that's so YA to me. It's so young.
It was, and she was very much acting like a teenager in this book.
Yeah. So I did not like that. I wanted her to seem older, act older, me be
Mhm,
more kick ass. I think the best scene where she was acting kick ass was when that one guy who was the assassin tried to get her and she was like, no, I'm a, beat him down or whatever. And then oh wait, the other time too where what's his face tried to come for her, the prince,
the
and she
prince,
shot
oh yeah,
him.
and she
She
just
shot
killed
him.
him.
Yeah, she like, bam, I did what you taught me to do. I just took him out. I didn't even think about it. So she's able to defend herself.
Mhm.
And I like those situations where she's able to, get through them on her own. But
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's just something more. I just needed more.
Yeah. Same. Because, like, in the early parts of book 1, we were told that the Crimson Moth was the most incredible, dangerous witch of all, you know? We did have that really good scene in book 1 with the two of them fighting in the sewers.
Hmm.
And you and I both said, like, we needed more of that because, like, 1 was good, but we wanted more scenes of Rune doing that. And she really didn't get that opportunity here. to
Mm-hmm.
do any sort of scene like that. She wasn't, she was saving the one witch, but that was easy. When they saved the baby, that was just like run in and shoot. That wasn't the Crimson Moth actually like subverting them, and it was
No.
just, it was weird.
The author chose to highlight every time Rune had to, like, I guess, use some kind of persuasion. It was always like flirting, this heavy flirting.
Yes,
Always, every time.
every time. And I get that, like, yes, that is in her repertoire. That is what she was good at when she was playing herself as Rune and the normal girl, not the witch, not the Crimson Moth. And like, yeah, that's necessary sometimes, but I also want to see her walking through the mud and, getting into locked rooms. And I mean, she did it when she saved Taro, but that was such a minute moment that she didn't even want to do it.
No.
She was doing it as a favor.
Yeah, only because what's-her-face basically begged her to.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
she even said that at one point. She's like, the only reason I did it was because she begged me, otherwise I would have left you.
Yeah, when they all came together at the little hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, "Don't be so mean to her. She's the reason you're here." Like, what? Yeah. So again, I guess as always, two things can be true. While it was entertaining enough, and like I said, I had a good enough time with it, there are some really big flaws
Yes.
where the author could have impressed me more.
I feel like this comes back to like just general writing style. She writes well enough that you are captivated in the moment, and it's really good and you can enjoy it. But now we've had this with other authors in the past. Once you start picking it apart, you're like, oh, when I pulled this thread, the whole thing kind of unravels.
Yeah, which is never good.
It's never good, but it does show
Yeah.
you that like talent does cover a lot of issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that does also make me wonder, who is this book for exactly? Is this book, because so it's YA, right? It's tagged YA, isn't it?
Thought it was tagged adult, but
That's what
it's
I thought, but
probably
it feels
it's
YA.
more YA, maybe new adult. Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Like 20-year-olds, 18 to 24, I think is the best age range for this.
Okay.
Maybe
Because I know
16.
when it first came up, I said, "Oh, another romantasy," right? And I think I have expectations of a romantasy that are a little different from this. And it does feel very YA to me. And I'm not sure. So again, two things are true. I enjoyed it well enough, but I don't think I'm the audience for this book, especially with my reading habits of late. So yeah, there is very childlike. So I'd like to know from you guys, if you're listening, what did you think of the reading level for this book? Did you think it was adult? Let us know. Chime in on this part. Do you think it was YA? Did it feel old enough for you? If you're listening, I'm sure you've read it. Most people who listen to the podcast have read it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to know. All right. What else? Do you have any other?
So many.
Let's go.
This is a rhetorical question. I don't expect anybody to give me an answer. But why the fuck is this world also homophobic?
Good question. I thought that. I said, good. I thought that with the two men at the end there. I'm like, what?
Like, why does this world have to be homophobic? Like, we already hate witches. We hate humans. We're already fighting amongst each other. Why is it also homophobic?
Yeah. Like, that was not necessary.
It was not necessary.
Not even a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. There was no, because it's not like this world was ultra religious or anything.
No.
I don't know. That doesn't really, there's no reason.
See, and like, they could have made it a class thing, right? Because he was a chef. The one guy was a chef and the one guy was rich. But it was like, but we're two men in love and we don't belong to the same class. But it was like, the world is homophobic more than it hates the class difference. And I was like, why? Why are we doing this? And then with Haro and her witch, it could have been another enemies to lovers, witch versus witch hunter kind of
Mhm.
thing. But
Mhm.
no, I think that was also homophobic more than anything.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why does this world have to be homophobic? Can we
That's the
not?
thing. It doesn't have to be because there was more than enough hate between the humans and the
Everybody for
witches.
everything.
No,
Yes.
it was enough hate there. We didn't
Yeah.
need the extra layer
Yeah.
at all.
Exactly. We didn't need that extra homophobia.
No. Mm. Yeah, I wanna know. It is rhetorical, but I wanna know now. Like, why throw that in there? Just one more thing? But it wasn't really important, so
I think she wanted to have a fun plot twist to show Rune that everybody had hidden depths and everybody had secrets, because this was one of the guys she was flirting with and had on her roster for potential husbands back in book 1, but he was an idiot. And
mhm.
even here, she was like, he fooled me into thinking he was an idiot. And I thought I could read everybody so well. And she's
Didn't in
learning
book
that
1
people
she
have.
say, "Is that a front?" Like, she questioned it in book 1, didn't she?
Maybe. It's been a while since I've read that.
I feel like she
But
did. Like, she said, is he for real or is it?"
maybe she did. I think she did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but here in book 2, she was like, wow, he fooled me. And I think the author was just trying to really highlight to Rune that, like, everybody has depth.
Mhm.
Everybody has hidden stuff. But, like, why the homophobia? Why
Yeah.
not just make him in love with his cook? Like,
Yeah.
that, make it a class thing.
Yeah. I agree with you. That would have been enough.
Yeah.
Womp
It
womp.
didn't have to be homophobic, too.
No, I did not. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think of that, but it's right. It's like, why? What is the point? And when that scene came up, I didn't feel anything about it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Mm,
Yeah. Like, it literally did not need to be homophobic.
no." And why are all the men, like, with the exception of Gideon, obviously, but he kinda was like a F-boy in the first book a little bit, seemed like he was trying to come off that way. But it seems like all the men, they wanna do is, like, sleep with Rune. Like, what is that?
Well, all of a sudden, he is the F-boy who has all of these women, like, falling all over themselves for him.
Wow.
'Cause he has his terrible past with the Witch Queen.
Yeah.
Then he had, what was it, Anya on the boat, who was in love with him and kissing him and like, "Why'd you marry her? You could have married me. I'll marry you now." Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, yes, it seemed like every man just wanted to sleep with Rune, and then
Yeah.
every girl wanted to sleep with
Sleep with
Gideon. I was
exactly,
like,
exactly. Like,
"What?
why?
Are they just giving off sex pheromones?"
I don't know, it's very weird, and that whole thing between them, I'm like, "Why is he doing that?" And I mean, I knew he was doing that to see if, that scar would
Yeah,
that spell would kick up again, but
yeah.
that whole thing with I think it's her name well, I can't think of her name right now. I start with an A, I think, but
I think it was Anya or Amy.
yeah, something
Hold
like
on, let
that,
me
but because she was so unimportant, it wasn't even funny, but, like, on that boat, it kept Rune, like, being eternally jealous, like, she was
Uh-huh.
jealous that whole time. Like, "How dare he look at her, talk to her in a corner, do anything with her." Like, she was very put out. And when she saw him, she was like, "Gideon, is that you?" And Rune instantly was like saw red. She's
Yeah.
like,
She's
"Yeah,
like,
this."
this bitch knows my man's name."
Right. And she like, "They seem too comfortable." But yeah, more stuff that, I guess for the drama of it, that was the purpose of it,
Yeah.
but
But I would have rather had different drama where they're running or fighting or doing something.
mhm. Yeah. That was kinda interesting. Very YA as
Very
well.
YA.
Yeah.
Also, it has been probably like at least 15 years since I've watched Titanic. But did you get Titanic vibes while
I
reading that
did.
ship scene?
And I'm like, "Oh, they're in 3rd class with, like, the poor folks down in
Yeah.
there. I did get Titanic vibes. I'm like, oh man. Well,
Okay, thank you. Because I was reading this, I was like, it's been so long since I've seen the movie. Maybe I'm making this up. But I
yeah.
was getting Titanic vibes. And I
No,
was
it's
like,
very much giving Rose going into the wrong part of the ship with her fancy dress. As Rune goes to dinner and
yes.
she's like, "Oh, I'm overdressed." Like, okay, catch a clue, Rune. Your room is like 4 feet wide,
Yeah.
4 feet by 10 or some crazy shit. Like, you can barely both of you fit in the bed.
Yeah.
Why do you think you need a fancy dress to go to dinner?
Well,
This is
that's all
where
she
you say.
packed anyway.
Well,
But
at
yeah,
least be
no.
aware. At least be aware. Okay, I know. Oops, I didn't realize this is what the third class is. I know I'm going to stick out.
Yeah.
Be aware. Come on,
Be
girl.
aware. Be aware. And again, like this could have played into the class consciousness. This could have really highlighted how the elites versus the poors, like we could have played so much into this instead of the homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
We could have played with that.
Yeah.
But no, it's
there's
just
a lot of
homophobic.
that. Yeah. A lot of it was the class wars,
Mm-hmm.
the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. And that was just, there's so much more that could have been done with that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I think this is a great time to take a break. You guys check out these commercials. By listening to the commercials, you are supporting the podcast. While you're doing that, feel free to hop on over and pick up a copy of the book review journal or join us over on Patreon. Do all the things, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back.
Okay, her
What
name
else?
is Abby.
Abby.
I had to look it up.
There we go.
I don't know why. Anya, Amy, Abby. It was Abby.
Abby. That's why I'm like, I knew it was an A name.
I was like, I know it's an A name, but she's so unimportant.
Well, there were several A names in this book, so
yeah.
Okay, Abby. Thanks, but carry on.
No thanks.
All right. Let's see what else was going on. Oh, what'd you think about, I think it was, her name was Aurelia. Was that her name? The girl with the woman with the daughter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you think of that part of the book?
Well, first off, I understand why she was giving up the other witches to save her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
The rescuing of her daughter felt so chaotic and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, the Crimson Moth and the leader of the whole Red Guard cannot come up with a better plan than this bullshit of just walking in and, oh no, my ankle. Now let's run upstairs. Like, excuse me?
Yeah, it was very chaotic. And the woman who's watching the kid just starts screaming bloody murder, basically.
Right? Can't you, like, bonk her on the head or put a spell on her to mute her or something?
No, that would have been too logical. Instead, let's just have this chaos going on.
Yeah, no, that was dumb. When the woman, they finally rescued her, Rune gets her on the boat, they get away. When she's like, all right, Rune, you swim back to your island or the continent or whatever, like, I'm out. I was like, good for you. That's what every witch should be doing right now. Like, why is any witch still on their island if they're being captured and murdered? Like, why?
And she just escaped. She doesn't want to be caught again.
Exactly. No, I gave her kudos because, like, get the fuck out. Yeah.
And I guess this is another great example of Rune being so naive about stuff.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, nah, you gonna come with me, or I don't know, I would have done something. So if I needed to get away and I needed that boat, she wouldn't be able to just take off.
Yeah. No,
which
Rune was like
stupid.
3 feet away. Like, she just jumped in the water. It's like, I'll be right back. And the woman's like, yeah, no.
See ya.
I'm leaving. See ya.
But that was the second time she got the one up on Rune. Like, when she comes into the apartment, Rune goes, and again, it's so obvious. She's like, didn't I load a second gun? I'm like, okay, you just gonna say that and not like, look for the gun? She's got the gun. Duh.
She's got it. Like, oh my God, Rune. Sweetheart, I thought you were smarter than this.
No, she is not. She's not the smartest, tool in the toolbox.
Not at all. Oh,
So again, those kind of things just bring it right back to YA. I'm like,
yeah.
you're supposed to be a Crimson Moth. You sneak around and free witches. You know
Yeah.
spells. You know how to fight. You know how to
Yeah.
protect yourself. I don't understand how you don't know how to use a gun, but okay, I'll let it go. But then when you finally figure it out and you have guns, you're not even going to keep track of your weapons. It's so wrong.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know.
So, can we just say, like, in book 1, it was such a huge point that she only used her period blood. Like, she had no
Uh,
scars, she had her little vials of blood, and she was able to safely, like, do magic, but it didn't leave the little moth behind, did it?
did it? I'm trying to, I don't know. I think it might have,
Okay.
but she was only doing it, in places that, people could not see her. So she's being very careful
Okay.
about her magic then. She's a lot more
'Cause
open.
here, when she was just cutting everything, I was like, "Was your period blood, like, leaving the moth?" Because I know she did leave the moths before in some instances,
Mhm.
but it just felt like, I don't know, it felt weird how all of a sudden she was just like, "Cut, cut, 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 cut."
Yeah, I think she just in those couple of months that she was with Seraphine or whatever, she's
Mhm.
just like, "Fuck it, I don't have to wait for period blood. I'll just do it, whatever. It's so
Yeah.
obvious. I'm over it."
I'm
And I
over
think,
it, I'm doing
yeah,
it.
the moths were there because I feel like in the first book, Gideon was like able to track her based on the moths that he was
Yeah.
finding. But I don't know. I guess that would have been nice to know. Did other witches leave signatures around like that, like visible signatures?
Not that I remember.
Yeah. I don't know. I know they kind of like the author kind of called out like a smell of magic from like Cressida
Yeah.
versus runes. But
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody else having a visible signature that could be seen, which was kind of odd.
Yeah.
What's so special about her that she has a visual signature?
Well, she's the long-lost sister, and
But
the
that doesn't make
reason
you
wisdom
special.
knew.
Like, how does that? I mean, but like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what
Yeah, yeah,
about you
yeah.
technically makes that happen?
It was not
See,
explained,
more
or if it
world
was,
building that's kind of missing.
yeah, yeah. It was
It just is what it is.
just is what it is.
The more I talk about it, see this something that I started out so positive has turned into a rant review. How does that
Okay,
happen?
let's
Only on Shelf Addiction does it turn into a rant.
it's a good book. It was a good book.
Yeah. Like we say, two things can be true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. I will say I was a little surprised that they actually killed her in the end.
A little surprised about that, but I'm glad they did.
I am too.
Yeah.
It made me happy that he actually shot her. It was Gideon, the enemy, who shot her in the end.
Yeah. She told him to, and he instantly was like, "What did I do? Oh my
I know.
God." He's like, but the minute that she was shot, I said, obviously, because she had the vision, she's going to be brought back. And it was
Mhm,
very obvious and useful.
mhm.
Now you have her dead and her sister alive in front of
Yeah,
you. You can
yeah.
just do the
The
thing.
she can bring her back the way they were just gonna do with the other 2 sisters. Yeah. So easy, so smart, right in front
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
Not a plot twist, but just
Yeah. I thought that was unique. And Cressida deserved to die. I'm glad she died
mhm.
instead of like being locked away somewhere because
Yes.
she's horrible. Like, why? Okay, so I know the point is to make a very scary villain,
Mhm.
but Cressida had no boundaries at all.
Mm-mm.
So she sexually abused Gideon.
Mhm.
That was very creepy,
Yep.
very bad. And
Yep.
then she whips Rune into like she's a second from death, basically.
Yep.
Why is she so vicious? Like, what?
They really didn't explain any of that, right? So,
Hmm.
like, all 3 sisters were evil. I guess their mom was kind of evil too, and that's why Seraphina was like, "I just knew I had to take you out of this house. You couldn't be raised with them."
Hmm.
Like, but why? Why were they all evil?
Yeah. And violent. Like, why was she so violent? Like, I understand having, I don't know. I guess they were just evil for the sake of being evil.
Yeah, they were just evil for the sake of being evil was really what it came across as in the
Yeah.
end.
And then it just be so like, that is so gross.
Mm,
Like the way she totally just like put a spell on Gideon so he could never like touch his true love without having like severe pain.
mhm,
Like that is
mhm.
also giving a little Disney or something. I don't know, that part of it. But
Yes.
then it was very opposite of Disney how that spell had to be broken.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Whoa, girl, can't you just, I don't know, kiss his eyelids twice on one side and twice on the other?" I don't know. But instead, you gotta go get yourself, like, almost dead.
Yep,
Some
yep.
huge sacrifice. So it's, like, very Disney and then no, very, very not Disney.
But it just proves how much she loves him.
Let me just go and expose myself and see what happens. This is gonna be my sacrifice. What if it didn't
Mhm,
work?
mhm.
She would did all that for nothing. Spilled her blood.
But the other thing is, I don't get why all of the witches didn't turn on her. Like, yes, they did need, Carissa to get rid of the Red Guard, right? Like, they needed
Mhm.
her brutality to get rid of the evil humans.
Mhm.
But then she started turning on the witches too. Any witch she didn't like, she would just immediately kill. If a large enough group of witches turned on her, which, you know, they all could have, they could have gotten rid of her immediately. Instead, they
That's
just
true.
sat back and they're like, well, we're just going to sip wine and watch the humans die
Yeah.
cuz why? Why is
Yeah.
everybody so fucking vicious? And then in just the last chapter they're like, yeah, okay, we'll all be human and normal and everything's good and happy and dandy and now we have this democracy and parliament or what the fuck ever they called it. Like, it was just so that's the YA fantasy part of it, where they're just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, everybody gets along now. We're good. We're
Yeah.
happy."
And she got elected apparently in a couple months as well. Rune did.
I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know either. I felt kinda meh about the end of that.
Yeah, that was I really liked the ending when he killed her, and then they brought her back to life, and everything was good, and coulda just ended right there, and I would have been
Yeah.
okay with that. I know you needed to wrap it up, but, like, I could have dealt without the, like,
Or
"Okay, yeah."
I would have been okay with Rune being, like, the new witch queen, and then Gideon being, like, in charge of his segment, and of course, them coming together as an alliance. They're all working together.
That would have been nice.
But to just go into a democratic society like that just seems so, and they're like, "What if it doesn't work?" "Well, we'll try something else." Like, "What?"
You can't just trying like that. Somebody's gonna throw a coup. Somebody's gonna take you
Yeah,
out. Like, it's
that that felt very rushed and not well thought out, I think.
yeah,
I didn't love that part.
yeah, no.
And she's trying to run away at the end, like, "Come on, let's go have sex in the lake instead of going to this party." And he's like, "No, we going to this party. There are 100 people downstairs waiting on you." And of course, they got married. I was happy that the wedding was off page. Thank you.
Same, same,
Appreciate it.
same. Yes,
I didn't need to see that, and she saved us from it, so there's that. But
that's a good point in her favor.
yeah, but the end, yeah, I didn't love the end that much. It was kind of just okay, with exception of them killing her and bringing her back. That was the
Yeah,
best
no,
part
that
about the
was a
end.
really good ending, and then the epilogue was just
Meh.
meh. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, shit. Okay. Okay, what else? I know there's probably a couple more things.
there
Oh,
was Alex, the dead
Alex.
brother.
Yeah.
So I have to say, as much as I hated him being killed off in the first book, because
Mhm.
that is one of my giant pet peeves, and I hated it so much.
Mhm.
I am glad he was gone in this book because he would have just slowed the pacing down. He would have made everything so boring and so much worse.
Mhm.
So I'm glad he was dead, even though I hate to say that. Like, I hate that he died, but
I agree, and I think the author tried to throw, like, a little bit of a what do I wanna say? The author, I guess, tried to redeem Alex in this book because when Rune asked, Gideon to just take off and leave everything and he didn't,
mhm.
I guess she kinda could see where Alex was coming from and
Yeah.
wanting to protect her,
Yeah.
she was able to kinda see it from his eyes versus
Yes.
the other, so I think the author was trying to redeem Alex a little bit for being like he was in the first book.
Which is good and fair, and, like, I
Mhm,
understand. He loved Rune in such a way where he wanted to protect her,
mhm,
and that was not the romantic love she needed. That was the brotherly love she needed. And he
yeah,
was good for her for so long, but also, like, no,
but
if he'd been
ultimately,
alive, it would have been just stupid drama and terrible and
it would have been the 2 of them dragging his ass around because he
mhm,
just didn't wanna even be there,
mhm.
so he'd been trying to get Rune to run away the entire book,
Yeah.
and
And then when
that would
she
have been
was
him
ready to
tired.
run away,
Yeah,
he would have been like, "Great, let's go," and never come back, and
yeah,
so I hate to say it, but it was good that he was dead, but also
mhm,
that is still my biggest fucking pet peeve.
mhm. I agree. I think it was good he was dead, but make a choice. Don't be such a, you
Yeah,
know
actually actively choose one brother, and I guess she kind of did when she took off his ring, like, it was a thing, but, like, he's dead, so are you really making the choice, or are
No,
you
he's
just
gone.
left with a choice?
She's did not make a choice. She made a choice to not piss off her maybe future husband by wearing that ring anymore
Mhm. Mm.
because she's who he likes. She's is who she likes. Let me say that right. And so the other guy, Alex, is gone. So what's the point of wearing that ring anymore? It's kind of like I know you were doing it to kind of in honor of, but
Mhm.
it's it's past that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're the guy who you want to be with is like, "Why are you wearing his ring? You loved him." She like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, let's not get it twisted. I was not in love with him. Let me take off this ring right now. Let's
Yes.
clear this up. Here's the ring. I don't need it." So that was a quick discard in my opinion, but
I feel like it did give them a good conversation because she and Gideon needed to have a couple of really good conversations in the beginning, which they did have,
mhm,
but still.
yeah. There was one other set of characters that I didn't even realize they were siblings until I realized they were siblings. So Noah,
Uh-huh.
who was the commander and took over Rune's house,
Yeah.
and what's the girl's name?
Layla.
Layla. They're siblings. And I'm like, how
Mhm.
did I miss that? I feel like was that pointed out and it was obvious and I just forgot it?
I think so, because I remember it in, book 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because Layla kind of let Gideon escape, quote unquote, he goes and throws her in a basement
Mhm.
and says, "You can die here, or you can try to get out and run into other soldiers that will probably use and abuse you.
Yep.
Good luck."
What a wonderful brother.
Yeah. Like, that's wild to me.
And that was one of the men that Rune was flirting with and thinking about marrying
It
in
sure
book
was.
1.
Yeah, that was very strange. I didn't really love that. I don't
There
know.
was surprisingly a lot of, like, sexual assault happening
Mhm.
to everybody, to
Yeah.
men, to Gideon, to, Rune when her ex-fiancé was attacking her, and then Layla getting trapped, and her brother was like, "Yeah, they'll probably rape you, it's fine," and, like, there's
Yeah.
just a
And
lot of
on the
that.
ship where that assassin almost came for her.
Oh, yeah, that guy too, I forgot about him.
Yeah. He almost tried it till Gideon showed up
Yeah.
in the nick of time. There was
Why?
a lot of implied and actual, like, assaults in the book. Like, I don't know, what's the point of that?
I don't know. Like, I appreciated it in book 1 with the fact that, like, it happened to a man, and, like, he was dealing with the fallout of that trauma, but then again, in this book, he's like, "Yeah, no, I've had so many lovers since then, it's fine." even though it's
Well,
only been a few
she
years.
captured his ass, and when Rune was trying to rescue him at the last minute, she points out that his pants were open.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh
because she was gonna
god."
go have fun with him and get yeah, no, there was a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I'm like, "What the hell's going on? What
Why?
is this?" Yeah, it was very that's the thing she chose to be really, I don't know, volatile with. Like, why do you choose that?
I don't know. I could have done without it.
Yeah, the cruelty and then the violence of it all, and
Yeah,
then just to be trying to sexually assault people, like, on a regular basis. Like, what is going on here? It's very strange.
it was. But to circle back to Layla and Noah, the other thing I wanted to bring up was just like, how could they be so different? They were siblings, they were raised by the same man. That man loved Gideon and was basically like a second father to him. And which means like Noah should have been like a brother to him. Layla saw him as a brother, and
Mhm.
yet Noah was like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." Like, why?
but why?
Again, evil for the sake of being evil.
Yeah. Because why? What's his
Yeah,
reason? What did you do to him that he's like this? Or who did something to him that he's like this now? Like,
exactly. He was just evil for the sake of it, and it was annoying and dumb.
yeah. And I think too many characters that are like that, it's just an easy plot device, and I don't like it.
Yeah, yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Like, give me some background. Like, I don't have to feel, like, bad for them to I don't feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
need to that exactly, but I do need some reason.
I need to know why they are the way they are.
Yeah, I don't need a sob story exactly. Just tell me how we got here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if he's a sociopath, like, give me that explanation. Don't just be like, "Yeah, no, he's just evil for the sake of being evil," because I need somebody to be evil here.
Mhm. Well, we got several of those characters evil for the sake of being evil.
A lot of those characters.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah. So one thing that Rune did that I think was kind of interesting and also again showing her stupidity. So when she does the spell to bring the air to her. Remember, she places the spell at night, they're in the
Uh-huh.
woods. There's this dais or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she wakes up there. Like, how did I get
Yeah.
over here? And of course, Gideon comes and he's like, "Oh my gosh, she's
She's
the
the long
he."
lost sister.
Yeah, he got it
Yeah,
immediately when she like sleepwalked herself over there and got on the thing. But when she woke up there, she could not figure out that the spell drew her there.
yeah,
Like, they're
yeah.
like, "Did I do the spell wrong?" I'm like, "Girl,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I would not want to know or admit that I was related to Cressida,
I get it, but I guess it's Serafina had to tell her. I guess
but that's such a
she
yeah,
could have
no, you're
figured it
right.
out
It
on her
was
own.
so dumb.
Yeah, just
Like,
figure
it
it
was
out.
so obvious, even before this moment to the reader. It should have been so obvious to the reader.
Yeah, I agree.
And
It was
yet
obvious.
and yet, it took so fucking long for her to figure it out herself.
Yeah, I don't know. That seemed crazy to me, but I guess I just remember thinking during that scene, I'm like, "What is wrong with her? Why is she so slow?" Like, like, how could you not figure this out, girl? And then the witch that was with her, whatever her name was,
The
Ariella or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, why didn't you just talk some sense into her on the spot?
Right? So she's a seer who can see the past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Supposedly, there's such a powerful block on the air that she can't see the air, but she's
Mhm.
like, "Yes, I'm gonna do the spell with you."
Mhm.
She literally wakes up where the air is supposed to be, and this girl is like, "Yeah, no, let's get out of here."
Stupid.
Apparently, she didn't show up, so let's just go.
It must have didn't work.
Right?
Who's gonna think, "Wait, why are you laying in this exact spot?
Come
Do you
on,
remember?"
people.
Look, if I were her, Aurelia, I'd be like, "Do you remember walking over here?"
Yeah, do you remember? Did you do this intentionally?
Right. "Why did you come out here and it was raining?
Right?
What drew you here?" So obviously the spell drew you. Like, that's so
Yeah.
obvious. See, I hate that kind of stuff. Like, why you
Yeah.
got these main character acting so stupid?
Yeah. No, it was
She's the last to find out.
seriously the last. And it
Yeah.
was so dumb. God.
Gosh. Okay. Let me think.
We need to end on a good note. We need to say something we like about this book.
I stand by what I said earlier. I don't have anything new to add as far as likes, but it was entertaining, even with
Yeah.
all the silly stuff and things that did make sense and things that, I wish were done different. It was still a quick, easy read, which
Mhm.
was something I think I kind of needed right now. I didn't really need something that was too complex.
Mhm.
So that's what I got. It's a very simple story.
Yeah.
So if you're in the mood for that, that's great.
Yeah.
Little lighthearted, barely love story there. It's like there, but you don't get a whole lot of it.
I would say it's the opposite. I'd say it's more of a love story than like an action story.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it was so high school like. And I
Well,
guess that
yes. Yes,
to
that
my
is
in my opinion, that's not again, I always say this, but I mean it wholeheartedly. I need to be able to be pulled in and I want to buy it. I
mhm,
need to feel like the longing for them
the
and
yearning,
the
yes.
yearning. I need to believe this. And I feel like I didn't quite get there. So to me, while I liked that they ended up together, it was kind of like fed to me, hey,
Uh,
this is what you should think because obviously it's in their future. Which didn't really do a trick to me. So for me, it wasn't that romantic or that much, I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying it right, but that's how I felt.
yeah, I get that. Watching the kids was just annoying. Like, that really should have been cut out of this book. Not because we just hate kids, but because, like, it did give that, like, "Yeah, you're set in stone, you'll be together in the future." No, give me the yearning and the passion right now. Give me the thing I liked about his curse, his chest curse, was that, like, it was only true love that really
Hmm.
hurt him, and yes, that was very Disney of it, but
Yeah.
it was one of those things where I was like, "Okay, so he truly loves her."
Right.
Like, it's not just lust on his part. He's down bad
Yeah.
for this
It
girl.
took long enough though.
Yeah, but
He got there. He got there.
he
But
got there.
I don't know. But they're not one of the top couples I would ever think about. Like when I think about
Mm-mm.
romantic books who you just want the couple, they're so cute. They're so this. This couple ain't making the list.
I mean, we have read so many books
Yeah.
and so many series, and, like, Patricia Briggs, Adam and Mercy, they're gonna be number 1 couple forever for us.
Yes.
Like,
They're
we have almost 2 decades of loving them. I don't think we're ever gonna find a duology or trilogy that will surpass
but you
Adam and
know what? I
Mercy.
can't even lie. Like Adam and Mercy, I connected with them as a couple pretty much immediately. I
Absolutely.
was like, "Oh, there's no one else who's got a chance. It's
Yeah.
them."
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't take 3, 4, 5 books. Book 1,
It
I
was
said,
book
"It's
1. It was
them."
Adam. Yes.
Yeah. So, why can't I get that again?
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I wanna
Interesting.
feel
Yeah.
immediately, "It's them. They're in
It's
game. I
them.
don't care what the
Okay.
fuck happens in these books. It's them." You know? Like, give me
Yeah, no,
that.
I know. I want that feeling too. Yes.
Yeah. Like, is that so hard? Am I asking for a miracle here?
I don't
You're like,
know.
"Yeah, maybe."
No, maybe. I don't know.
Because a lot of authors don't do it. They can't do it. Or maybe I'm just my, I got a little ice water in my veins, so it takes a lot, or it takes a special recipe for me to
It
feel
takes
it.
but that's fine. That's
Yeah.
yeah, no. And also it takes really good writing and really good storytelling and really good character development and really,
Mhm.
really good yeah,
Yeah.
yearning. There's a lot of
Mhm.
yearning.
Yeah. Give me that.
And banter.
Yeah,
Yearning and
and
banter, I
banter.
think.
Yeah. I don't know. Their banter was okay. It was
Yeah.
good enough.
Yeah. Not the
Mhm.
best, but good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that. Okay, I guess that's as good as we're going to get. Let's go ahead and rate Rebel Witch. You go first.
I'm stuck. Okay. I want to rate it a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
No, you won't let me do half stars.
No, ma'am.
So I'm stuck. Part of me, like, yeah, we ripped it to shreds, so it should be a 3-star. But part of me still, I love the fact that they were true enemies. And it is so goddamn rare that I ever actually get true enemies to lovers.
But I feel like that was the prop that you
That's
used in the first book to
absolutely yes, and it's still propping her up, but I'm so torn because like you don't understand. I'm so used to enemies being like, I hate you, and then poking each other with a spoon, and then they're like making out and happy after 2 chapters. I'm like, you're not enemies.
Right.
At least here in book 2, they're still holding knives and guns to each other.
Yeah, that's true. They're real enemies.
So I want to do it a 4 for that, but like based on the plot, I think I have to go down to a 3-star, but like it is firmly 3.5 in my heart. Just know in my heart of hearts it's 3.5, but I will go down to a 3.
Okay. So the last book I gave it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also a 3. Even though I enjoyed it more than the last book,
3.5.
It's still in the 3 range. So yeah. Good job. A 3 is passing. You didn't fail.
3 is good. It's a good story.
Yeah. Will this be on my top recommendation list? No, it will not. But,
if anybody asks me for enemies to lovers, I'm giving them this.
Right. If they really just want, actually, this should be a great teaching book for your writers.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you have someone that really wants to write enemies to lovers and they're not quite grasping it, refer them to this.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's a great teaching moment. Well, you guys, let us know. How did you rate Rebel Witch? Which I don't really love the title for some reason, but
it's a terrible title.
Yeah, I don't love it. But how did you rate it? Did you enjoy it more than the first book, less than the second book? Have you read more by Kristen Ciccarelli? Would you read more? Tell us all the things. Leave comments on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you're listening. We'd love to hear from you. And I think that's it. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.